Hi guys, my name is Stephanie and you're highly welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you guys how I actually made this rag clothes step by step. Alright, so it was actually rag day slash costume day in school, so I had this Ankara patch work that I had already, so I decided to make this rag dress with other scrap fabric. So hi again, so this is actually the patchwork that I actually made in my previous video. So if you haven't watched it, please go and watch and learn how to make the patchwork. So now let's get into the cutting. So I've gone ahead to fold it into two. I'll be cutting the skirt part first before the upper part. So now I'll just go ahead and draw that straight line at the upper side, which will actually serve as my starting point. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is that from there I'm going to be marking to the hip point, which is about 8 inches. So I wanted to mark a straight line as well, and then all the way to the full length. So I'm making use of the whole wrapper, right? Had it been even long, I would have made use of a longer one, but I will just go ahead with the length that I actually had there. So now I'll divide my waist by 4, and then I'll go ahead and mark the measurements. Right, I'll mark the measurements, and then I'm going to be adding sewing allowance of 1.5 inch, and I'll also do the same thing on the hip line. I'm just checking to confirm the measurement. All right, so I'm going to divide my hip by 4 again, and then I'll also go ahead and place it and mark it and add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance as well. So what I have here at the hip line, including the sewing allowance, I'm going to be placing it at the hem line, and then I'm minusing 1.5 inch. Okay, I'll minus 1.5 inch from it, and then I'll go ahead and connect all the points together just the same way you see like this. So after connecting it, I'll just go ahead and cut out everything now, from the downside to the sides and then the upper side, just the same way you see me doing in this video. So after I was done with the front piece, I'm going to be using it as a template to cut the back. So the difference is that the back is going to have zip. So I kept about 1.5 inch for zipper, and then I'll go ahead and cut out the rest from the side and the downside. And I also go ahead and open the zipper allowance at the back side. So guys, I'm done doing that. So like I said, I kept 1.5 inch for zipper allowance, as you can see. So now I'll be working on the top now. So I folded it into two, and then I went down by about 4 inches of depth for the front, and then 3.5 inches for the width. Okay, that's actually what I actually did. So I'm just going ahead to connect it just the same way you see like this, and then I'll divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 15 inches. I'll divide it by 2. I'll mark it right there. Then from there I'll move down by 1 inch for shoulder slope, and I'll also go ahead and from that shoulder slope I'm moving down for the armhole measurement of 7.5 inches. So I went ahead to connect it all the way to the downside. I divided the measurement of the 7.5 inches, and then I went in by 1/2 inch, and then I connected it just the same way you see like that. So I divided my bust by 4, I marked it, and then I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So now the length that I'm making use of, I went there to mark about 20 inches. I actually marked 19 inches before, but I've added 1 inch to it, making 20, because there's going to be a fold. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and connect a straight line just the same way you see like this, and then I'll be dividing my waist by 4, and then I'm also going to be adding 1 inch for sewing allowance as well, and then I'll go ahead and connect. After connecting, I'll just go ahead and cut out everything. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. This is actually what it looks like. All right, it's just something basic, so I'll be using it as a template to cut the back. As you can see, I kept 1.5 inch for zipper allowance. So I've gone ahead to fix a zip on the skirt, as you can see, and I folded the upper part. I folded it because there's no lining in this dress at all. I folded this the front piece as well, and there's no dart as well. So I'll just place it the right sides facing each other. I'll insert my measurements, and then I'll go ahead and sew and follow the measurement and just sew it all the way to the downside. After doing it the other side, I also go ahead and do the same thing to this other side as well. I'll insert the measurements As you can see, there's chalk on it. I'm just following the marked line, sew it all the way down. I'll just trim the excess because the allowance is much inside. So now the next thing is I'm going to be sewing the neckline for the top part. Okay, I'm going to be folding it as well. As like I said, there's no lining inside the dress, so I'll just fold it once from inside. I'll fold the other one as well once, and then the front piece as well. So guys, after doing that, I'll go ahead and place the right sides facing each other, and then I'll just sew the shoulder line just the same way you see like this. I'll also do the same thing to the other side as well. Just place the right sides and then sew it. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to be fixing the zipper at the back. Like I said, I kept zipper allowance, so as you can see, I've gone ahead to sew it. Went ahead to fold the downside as well. I inserted armhole. I cut armhole, I inserted it, I folded it inside this side as well. I did the same thing, folded the downside as well, and then I'll place the right sides facing each other, and then I'll just follow my measurement and then sew it all the way to the downside. It's just something as simple as this. Okay, I'll do the same thing to this other side as well. So this is what I had after I was done. I was just okay with it because like it's a rag cloth, so it mustn't be perfect, it mustn't be all clean. When I was even sewing, there was no light. Okay, I was just using my power bank to on my ring light. So now I'll be using all these pieces to actually tack it to the dress. I have all these pieces, and then I'll be using it to tack it to the dress all the way around. I have Ankara one as well, so I'll just be cutting it one by one. I'll just tack it all the way to actually make it to be more crazy because it's a rag cloth. Okay, it's not something that is going to be touch. So now I just brought these Ankara pieces that I actually kept, so I'll be using them as well. I'll be cutting them in pieces, different pieces, to actually attach it to the top part of the dress. So guys, I'm actually done doing that. So now I'll just be using all the Ankara and all the other pieces to attach it to the top, just the same way you see like this. I'll just be attaching it one by one until I move around the top. I will just go around the top attaching it. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing here. So guys, after finishing, I'm going to be cutting the skirt part. I went ahead to mark where I'm going to be cutting this open all the way to the new line. This is actually where it's going to stop. As you can see the chalk there, so I'm going to be cutting this until I'll stop at the new line. I'll cut it all the way around. So when I was actually drafting to cut the skirt part, like I said, it was long. If I had enough fabric, it's going to be longer. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut it all the way around. So guys, this was actually the outcome. This was just me in school. Everybody was just laughing at me. It was really fun. I had a lot of fun. This was me looking like a crazy girl in school with my Ankara fabrics and other fabrics. I was able to scrap fabric. I was able to put this up. Everybody was surprised. Stephanie, is this you? Yes, it's me. I was looking so crazy, and I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun. It's actually our FYB week, our final year brethren week in school. Okay, so like this was just me just dancing with Chiamaka. We really had fun in school. Okay, so you can either dress like an old woman just like she dressed, or make rag day, or you can choose a career path and then dress like it. So I decided to go with rag since I'm a tailor and I have so much fabric to use. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you are still here, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment down below. Thank you, and I hope to see you guys in my next tutorial video. Bye.